After 6 trips to Alaska, we get asked the same questions over and over. So, to help you make the most of your Alaska cruise, we're answering the top 25 Alaska cruise questions to ensure you stay one step ahead of everyone else on board. Up next. Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm Don B from Eat, Sleep, Cruise, and perhaps the most popular question we get is, how much does an Alaska cruise typically cost? Well, to be honest, those prices vary widely depending on several factors. Entry-level interior cabins could start around $600 to $1,200 per person, while ocean view cabins range from around $900 to $1,800, with balconies costing anywhere from $1,200 to over $2,500 per person. Luxury lines and premium suites can exceed $5,000 per person. These base prices include accommodations, meals at main dining venues, basic entertainment, and transportation between ports. Additional costs include gratuities, shore excursions, specialty dining, premium drinks, Wi-Fi, and flights to your embarkation port. So we think it's reasonable to budget anywhere between $2,000 to upwards of $5,000 a person for an Alaska cruise. All said and done, it's reasonable to budget around $10,000 for a couple and even more for families. The Alaska cruise season runs from May to September, with each month offering different advantages. Mid-June to mid-August provides the warmest temperatures and the longest daylight hours, perfect for outdoor activities. May and September offer lower prices and fewer crowds, though temperatures are cooler. This is referred to as the shoulder season. Wildlife viewing is excellent throughout the season, with peak whale activity in June and July. Bear viewing peaks in July and August. September offers beautiful fall colors, so consider your priorities, budget, weather, or specific experiences when choosing the best time for you to cruise to Alaska. Nearly every major cruise line operates in Alaska during the May through September season. Premium and mainstream options include Princess, On America, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Celebrity, Carnival, and Disney Cruise Line. Many of these cruise lines typically offer cruises on larger ships at more affordable price points. Luxury lines sailing Alaska include Silver Sea, Seabourn, Regent Seven Seas, Viking, and Oceania, featuring smaller ships with higher staff-to-guest ratio and more all-inclusive pricing. For a more intimate experience, small ship expedition companies like Uncruise Adventures, Lindblad Expeditions, HX, and Alaska Dream Cruises operate vessels carrying 40 to 100 passengers that can access places that the larger ships can't. On America and Princess are particularly established in Alaska, offering a variety of ships, itineraries, and departure points. Now, of course, the next obvious question we get all the time is, what's the best cruise line in Alaska? And honestly, there isn't just one best line. It really depends on your travel style. The key is matching the cruise line to what matters most to you: the onboard amenities, service, style, ship size, and of course, budget. The beauty of Alaska cruising is that you'll see many of the same incredible glaciers and wildlife regardless of which line you choose. So focus on finding the cruise experience that fits your personality and your travel party's needs, rather than searching for the mythical best cruise line. Most Alaska cruises range from 7 to 14 days. 7-day itineraries are the most common and typically sail either round trip from Seattle or Vancouver, or one-way between Vancouver and either Seward or Whittier, Alaska. These week-long cruises usually visit 3 to 4 ports, plus glacier viewing. Now, regardless of the length of your cruise, nearly every Alaska cruise itinerary includes at least one glacier viewing opportunity, though the specific glaciers and viewing experiences do vary. Many Inside Passage cruises visit Glacier Bay National Park, where depending on conditions, guests can see up to 5 glaciers, including the Marjorie Glacier. There's also cruises to the Sawyer Glacier, the Dawes Glacier, or the Hubbard Glacier. The Gulf of Alaska itineraries might additionally include College Fjord with its multiple tide-water glaciers. When researching cruises, verify which specific glaciers are included in your itinerary rather than assuming all itineraries offer equivalent experiences. Wildlife sightings on Alaska cruises vary, but commonly include humpback whales, orcas, porpoises, harbor seals, sea lions, sea otters, and abundant bald eagles. From your ship, you might spot black bears along shorelines during salmon runs, though bear viewing is more reliable through dedicated shore excursions. Mountain goats often appear on steep coastal cliffs, while moose and caribou require inland excursions. Small ship cruises, focus on wilderness areas rather than major ports, offering increased wildlife opportunities through kayak excursions and zodiac tours. Alaska's cruise season weather varies by month and location. May and September average 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, with the occasional dips into the 40s, and sometimes highs in the low 60s. June through August is the warmest, typically between 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, with the occasional 70-degree day. Temperatures feel colder when viewing glaciers due to the microclimate they create. Rain is common throughout the season, with Southwest Alaska receiving more precipitation than Whittier or Seward. September tends to be the wettest month, while May and June are typically the driest. Cruise tours combine an Alaska cruise with a land package, typically including Denali National Park, Fairbanks, and sometimes the Yukon. These 10 to 14-day packages offer the benefit of experiencing both Alaska's spectacular coastline and the wilderness interior in one vacation. The land portion utilizes scenic railroads, motor coaches, and stays at wilderness lodges. Cruise tours are worth the extra time and money if you want a comprehensive Alaska experience. A balcony cabin significantly enhances the Alaska cruise experience. While a hotly debated topic, we believe it's worth the investment if your budget allows. Alaska scenery is the main attraction, with stunning views of glaciers, fjords, and possible wildlife sightings throughout the day. While interior and ocean view cabins are more affordable, they limit your scenic viewing to public decks, which can become crowded during prime scenic cruising. May and September, which are referred to as the shoulder season, consistently offer the lowest prices, with savings of 20 to 40% compared to peak summer rates. Late April into early May, and late September into early October provide the very best deals, as these sailings coincide with cooler temperatures, increased chances of rain, and the beginning and end of seasonal operations in port towns. Passport requirements depend on your cruise itinerary and citizenship. U.S. citizens on closed-loop cruises, those departing and returning to the same U.S. port, like round trip from Seattle, Washington, technically can travel with just a government-issued photo ID and birth certificate. However, we strongly recommend a passport, even for those itineraries that it's not required. All one-way cruises, or cruises departing from or returning to Vancouver, British Columbia, absolutely require a passport for all passengers, regardless of citizenship. Non-US citizens must have a passport and the appropriate visa for all cruise itineraries, even closed-loop voyages. What to pack for an Alaska cruise is another one of the most popular questions we get. Packing for layering and variable weather with waterproof and windproof outer layers is a must. You'll need comfortable walking shoes, although you may not necessarily need boots. Essential accessories also include a hat, gloves, sunscreen, and sunglasses, because yes, you can get sunburnt in Alaska. For activities, pack a day backpack, binoculars for wildlife viewing, a camera with zoom lens, and a water bottle. If you don't want to purchase binoculars or a camera with a zoom lens, consider renting them from websites like borrowlenses.com. Don't forget cruise essentials like a swimsuit for those hot tubs or indoor solariums, and motion sickness medication if you do get seasickness. Alaska shore excursion prices vary wildly depending on activity type. Basic experiences like city walking tours, salmon bakes, or museum visits typically range from around $50 to $100 per person. Mid-range activities such as whale watching, guided hikes, or cultural performances usually cost more like $100 to $200 per person. But then there are those premium adventures, including helicopter glacier landings or fishing charters that can range from $300 to $600 plus per person. The most exclusive experiences like private float plane tours or full-day combination adventures can easily exceed $700 per person. You should pre-book these popular excursions well in advance as they frequently sell out. Both cruise line and independent excursion bookings offer distinct advantages worth considering. Cruise line excursions provide guaranteed return to ship service, seamless cancellation policies, and vetted operators. Independent bookings through local providers or platforms like Shore Excursions Group generally offer lower prices, smaller group sizes, more customizable options, and sometimes unique experiences. One of our preferred travel partners is Shore Excursions Group, who even offers a return to ship guarantee. All you need to do is put in your cruise line, ship, and departure date, and Shore Excursions Group will show all the tours available at each port of call, and you can save up to 40% off the cruise line's shore excursion prices by using our exclusive link down in the description. Alaska cruises primarily depart from 4 gateway cities: Seattle, Washington, which offers the most convenient option for most Americans; Vancouver, Canada, which provides the most scenic departure directly into the Inside Passage. For one-way Gulf of Alaska itineraries, guests will depart from either Vancouver or Whittier or Seward, Alaska. Whittier is about an hour and a half from Anchorage, while Seward is about 2.5 hours from Anchorage. Less common departure points include San Francisco and Sitka or Juneau. Seattle offers easier, often cheaper flights for Americans, no passport requirements for US citizens, and simpler logistics. However, it does require crossing open waters to reach Alaska and an international stop to Victoria to satisfy maritime regulations. Vancouver provides a more scenic departure through the Inside Passage, smoother waters, and direct sailing to Alaska without required stops, though US citizens need passports for Vancouver departures. For optimal selection and pricing, book your Alaska cruise 9 to 12 months in advance, particularly if you want a specific cabin category, sailing dates, or popular ships. Alaska's short May to September season creates high demand, with the best deals typically available during wave season. You book it between January and March, when cruise lines offer early booking incentives. Northbound and southbound Alaska cruises are one-way itineraries, typically sailing between Vancouver, British Columbia, and either Whittier or Seward, Alaska. The actual ports visited are nearly identical, regardless of direction. The primary difference is the order in which you experience them. Northbound cruises begin in Vancouver and end in Alaska. Southbound cruises start in Alaska and end in Vancouver. It often surprises cruisers when we tell them neither starboard nor port side consistently offer better views throughout an Alaska cruise, as the best viewing opportunities alternate depending on your itinerary. During glacial viewing, ships typically rotate 360 degrees, ensuring all sides get optimal views. Rather than focusing exclusively on cabin location, consider alternatives like booking a balcony cabin, or better yet, an aft cabin for wraparound views. Utilize public observation lounges during scenic cruising, and explore both sides of the ship during key sailings through fjords. We have sailed on both big and small ships in Alaska, and it really depends which type of ship you prefer. Larger ships, those that hold 2,000 passengers or more, offer more amenities, entertainment options, dining venues. These mainstream vessels provide comfortable viewing of major glaciers and visit popular ports, but can't access narrow fjords or remote areas. Smaller ships, or those who hold less than 1,000 passengers, provide intimate experiences. Even smaller expedition ships offer flexible itineraries that can change for wildlife sightings, and small ships can access wilderness areas in tinier ports inaccessible to large vessels. We are always surprised when asked if Alaska cruises are good for families. They're excellent for families who get to experience activities appealing to all ages. Kids will enjoy wildlife spotting, glacier viewing, and adventurous excursions like dog sledding or zip lining. Most large cruise lines operating in Alaska offered structured youth programs divided by age groups, with Alaska-themed activities, science projects, and junior ranger programs. For families, choose ships with amenities like pools, sports courts, and dedicated kid spaces. Though Alaska cruise costs more than a Caribbean alternative, they provide unique educational experiences that create lasting family memories. Alaska cruises generally experience calm waters, particularly on the Inside Passage routes. The most potential rough sections include the open water between Seattle and Vancouver Island and the Gulf of Alaska. Even in these areas, summer conditions are typically mild when compared to other cruise regions. If you're prone to seasickness, book an Inside Passage round-trip cruise from Vancouver for the calmest experience. Choose a midship cabin on a lower deck where motion is less noticeable, and bring preventative medication just in case. Seeing the northern lights during a typical Alaska cruise season is unlikely due to extended daylight hours. The midnight sun of summer creates too much light for aurora visibility. Your best chance to see the northern lights on an Alaska cruise would be late September into early October, when darkness returns and skies clear. The ideal jacket for an Alaska cruise is waterproof, breathable shell with a hood that allows for layering underneath. Look for jackets labeled waterproof not just water resistant. Further, a good Alaska cruise jacket should be windproof, lightweight enough to pack easily, and roomy enough to accommodate multiple layers beneath for adjustable warmth. Formal wear requirements vary significantly by cruise line. Luxury lines like Silversea or Cunard maintain elegant evening dress codes, while most of the mainstream cruise lines have become increasingly casual. Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, and Princess typically include 1 or 2 formal or evening chic nights on a 7-day Alaska cruise, though these are more business casual than truly formal. In general, Alaska cruises tend to be more casual than other itineraries, given the destination's outdoor focus. Now that we've answered all of your top Alaska cruise questions, we need to find you the perfect ship. Well, lucky for you, right here on YouTube, we have our look at the top Alaska cruises for 2025. We detail the ships, itineraries, and best places to visit. That way you can find the perfect Alaska cruise that's right for you, and your next trip will be smooth sailing.